Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about pruning tomatoes. Now there's many different ways to prune tomatoes and there's many different reasons why you might want to prune your tomatoes. The main reason why you want to prune your tomatoes is airflow. You want to make sure that there's ample air getting to your tomatoes so that they grow nice and healthy and strong. The other reason why you might want to prune your tomatoes is to control the size of the tomatoes. And the third reason to prune your tomatoes is to prevent disease. You can see here that there's leaves going right from the plant down to touching the soil. This doesn't allow much airflow for your plants, and so the first thing we need to do is create a 6 to 8 inch gap here where there's no leaves so that we get good airflow to this tomato plant, and this will just allow more airflow, creating a stronger plant to be able to grow. The other thing is that if the leaves are touching the soil, then you could get soil-borne diseases up onto your leaves, which will then go to the rest of your plant and could damage your plant. So the first thing we need to do is clear out the first 6 to 8 inches of this plant, creating nice airflow and making sure that there's no leaves touching the soil so that we won't get any diseases spreading to your plant. So you just want to get in there with some pruners and snip off any of the leaves that are 6 to 8 inches. This is a good time to do it because the plant is getting quite large, so we're not going to be taking any energy from the plant. We're just creating airflow to make sure that the plant gets good airflow, which will help it grow nice and healthy and strong. So I'm just going in here and snipping all of the extra leaves from the bottom of the plant. We're creating nice air pockets. You want to make sure that you're not snipping the main stem. We're just snipping all of the extra leaves. You can see here that we've created a nice gap, a good 6 to 8 inches up. There's no leaves touching the soil anymore, so that means a lot of air will be able to flow through and get to the roots of the plant. And we're not going to get any soil-borne diseases hitting the leaves, especially when we're watering. There won't be any soil splashing up on the leaves, so we won't get any soil-borne diseases spreading to the plant. Another way to prune your tomatoes is by controlling the size of your plant by pruning the suckers off your plant. Now a sucker is a baby production stem that will turn into a full-grown production stem and just enhance the size of your plant. So one of the ways to control your plant size is to prune all the suckers. Now what is a sucker? A sucker is in the elbow of the main stem and the leaf. And you'll see a little branch coming out in between that middle section here in that bend. This is a sucker, and this sucker will grow into a full-blown production stem. So we want to make sure we're snipping off all of these suckers if you don't want them to grow into production stems to help control the size of your plant. So we're just going to snip that right off. Now I've let my tomatoes get a little out of hand. I haven't been controlling the suckers as much as I should have been, so it's going to be a little more difficult for me to prune back these tomatoes. I have a lot of space though, so for the most part I just let my tomatoes grow, but I do try to prune where I can just to help control the size and help create that airflow. Here is another good example of a sucker. I know it's hard to see in all of this, but you have a main stem here, you have a leaf right here, and you have this sucker growing. Now this is a bigger sucker, it's already growing quite large, so we just want to snap that off. And this would grow into a full production stem. There's another good example right in here. You have your leaf growing out right here, you have your main stem right here, and you have this little sucker right in the elbow of the leaf and the main stem. We want to pick that off and make sure that it doesn't grow any larger. You can see here, this is a good example of how much space there is between the soil and where the leaves start on this tomato plant. We have a good 8 to 10 inches here of nice airflow to be able to go through these tomato plants, get to the other plants that are on the inside of the garden bed, and really help prevent that disease. You can also see here a really good example of another sucker. You have a leaf that's coming out right here, you have the main stem coming up here, and then right in the center is that production stem. And this one's already getting quite large, so we're just going to snap it off right as close to the stem as we can. and this would have turned into a full-blown production stem. So you want to go around to all your tomato plants and really keep up on the pruning before they get out of hand. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you found it helpful, and share it with a friend so that they can learn too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye friends!